Hi, I'm Asa Christiana. I'm here at IWF with Tom MacDonald. He's the star of the new Rough Cut show on WGBH.
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? How's it going?
And I'm going to ask him some questions here. He just finished the taping the new season.
That's correct.
And how do you feel about the stuff that you got taped so far?
You know, I feel great about it. It's been an honor to be able to, you know, present woodworking in a new light, and I just appreciate having the opportunity to do it. You know that I've been at this for a long time, trying to get to where I am. So just being here is kind of surreal, and it's been a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. I mean, I'm not going to kid you. It was an awful lot of work, but I'm sure that whoever tunes into the show is really going to appreciate what we got going on.
That's good. Maybe you could tell folks how you got started woodworking. It's a good story.
Well, you know, for you guys who don't know, I went to a trade school in high school, but before that, even in 6th grade, I got introduced to woodworking, and there was an after-school program in my town, and I would go to this trade school after school, and I learned culinary arts, and I learned, you know, auto body, auto mechanics, all sorts of different kind of mechanical arts. And I went to the woodworking shop. I kind of liked it, so that's where I went for high school. So after high school, I got into the Carpenters Union, and you know, I just kind of fell into actual fine woodworking. I broke my shoulder, separated my shoulder, as you know, in like 1999. And I got accepted to the North Bennett Street School.
You were working on the Big Dig in Boston, right?
That's correct. I was working on the Big Dig at the end of my career, but before that I was always working on bridges and highways and high-rises and, you know, all sorts of, you know, heavy highway construction.
And that's quite a jump going from a job site with those guys into North Bennett Street School, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, North Bennett Street School is like the Harvard University of woodworking, as they say, and it was really intimidating for me to go from where I was to that type of environment. You know, it was a really sophisticated, you know, group of people that were there, and it took me a while to fit in, you know, but it was great. You know, it's a great experience. I would recommend anybody who is interested in woodworking to attend that school, or any school in the country for all that matter.
And how'd you get the attention of WGBH? I mean, they're the big kahuna out there in terms of public television.
Well, yeah, I mean, they are the industry standard. And about 4 years ago, I had the inside track. I knew Norm was retiring. And as you know, I was doing a podcast for years before that. And I started to refine my podcast to make it more serious. And I knocked on the door one day, and they let me in. And I had just never let go. You know, it took me 4 years to get here. But, you know, it's been worth the grind. I really had an advocate inside WGBH. Well, a few people, really. But honestly, Lori Donnelly was the one who really wanted to do this show, and she put her neck on the line for me, and that's how I got here, basically.
And what kind of projects can people expect? What do you have already, footage in the can already, as they say?
Well, we shot all 13, so we have some really great eclectic collection of projects, from ball and claw feet on a footstool to, you know, really great dovetails on the shake and step stool. As you know, we wrote the article together, and that was a great article, and I still really believe in that project. We did a great octagonal lazy Susan with an inlay, you know, which is a lot of fun. We did the blanket chest with the shell carving, I mean with the panel carvings, which is really another great project. A simple looking shaken nightstand, but with some beautiful tiger maple, you know, and just all sorts of different kinds.
So a really broad range of projects there to try to appeal to lots of different people, get them interested in woodworking.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you're into woodworking, or if you just want to know how things are done, this show is absolutely for you. You know, because not only do we concentrate on the project, we also go on field trips, you know. Yeah. And now I've been to some great places, guys. We went to the USS Constitution, and we crawled all the way into the very bottom of the boat, and it was just incredible to see that 250-year-old live oak, you know. We went to the top of the steeple of the Old North Church, which is a great treat. We went to Historic New England with Brock Job, and that's a huge collection of furniture. There's over 2,000 pieces there from, you know, all sorts of things from around here, you know, and it was just unbelievable to see that type of furniture. And it's a lot of fun because we have a lot of people coming on. I mean, imagine Brock Job came on our show. I mean, it's just so phenomenal to have a guy of that caliber, along with, you know, Will Neptune, you know, and Phil Lowe and Alan Breed,
both from North Bennett Street School. And
oh yeah,
in the past.
Yep, yeah, in the past. I mean, Alan Breed is a great furniture maker too, and he does his upside down dovetailing, which is kind of neat, you know. And obviously we have Alan Eli in the shop, so it's more than just me in the shop getting older by the minute. It's a group of guys to do woodworking. Because I believe that woodworking is not a solace thing to do. You need to have a community of guys around you to bounce ideas around it and become a better woodworker, you know. And that's what we're trying to bring to the big screen.
And that's kind of the vibe of the show with your friends. They're your personal friends. They're on hand, and you kind of let it all hang out, right? Is that what the rough cut means in a way?
Well, no, rough cut is about the material that we're using. We start with raw material, you know, it's not plywood or MDF, you know, so it's how to interpret raw material, you know, how to read grain direction, and how to really try to get the most out of a piece of wood for a particular project, you know.
I see. So here's a big question. If your background is a little bit more in sort of high-end traditional furniture making in Bombay Chess and North Bennett
Yeah.
Street School, and that's the high-end stuff, and a lot of the guys you're visiting are those kind of high-end makers, how do you then make the show accessible and attractive to new woodworkers or people who haven't even tried it yet?
Well, this year, you know, obviously I stayed in my own backyard because of, you know, all these great woodworkers in my area. But hopefully next year we're going to be traveling, you know, and I want to see more contemporary stuff, or maybe go to California and see some green and green. But it really doesn't matter, you know. We went to museums and we saw some world-class pieces, but we picked aspects of those world-class pieces and we brought it back to the shop to an approachable project that you can do at home. You know, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's just learning that one technique surrounding a smaller approachable project. Like, for instance, we're doing this great bread box, you know, and it's got the tambour door with the canvas back. And we went to the Peabody Essex Museum and talked all about, you know, the Seymours and how they used to do it on their sideboards and break fronts, you know.
So you give the historical background, but then you break it down in a project that is more accessible to people in a sense.
Oh, definitely more approachable, you know. And there are no projects that are going to be, you know, too overwhelming. And listen, it's woodworking. If you guys make some mistakes along the way, just like I did, it's not that big a deal, you know. We're just trying to learn the process and enjoy doing the woodworking with the limited amount of time that we have, you know.
So are you getting a lot of this, like, is Tommy the next Norm type of stuff?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's like that's the first thing that people have been saying to me. And you know, I can never ever replace that guy. You know, he's the man. He did it. He's got a body of work, a lifetime of work that will never be surpassed. You know, I'm just trying to fill the void that was left with his retirement, you know. Yeah. I wish him all the best luck in the world, you know. He inspired me, you know. I remember watching him when I was a kid with my dad, you know, in his den, you know, watching this old house for the first time, and he really inspired me to do what I'm doing today.
So you're not going to start wearing flannel shirts on the show?
You know what? I thought about having flannel T-shirts, you know, but I couldn't find any.
So you've been hanging out here at IWF for the first time. What do you think of the show?
Oh my goodness! I mean, this is a huge show. I mean, and you're telling me it's about half the size that it normally is. I mean, look around, guys. I mean, there are machines in there that are like 2,000 square feet. I mean, it's really amazing to see what is going on in the industry. I mean, I've had my head down for like the last 5 years, and to pop up and to be looking at this stuff is truly amazing. And it makes me feel good to know that this industry is still very, very strong here in America.
So have you met any future crazy fans yet or anything like that?
You know, not here, you know. Surprisingly, it's been good. We have some rogue fans that chase us down wherever we are, you know, and they all yell, T-Chisel, you know. I can't get away from that to save my life, but, you know.
That was the name of your podcast, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was just, you know, we were just winging it back then, you know. Yeah. But it was all about the work, and you know what? It's always all about the work.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for spending some time with us here at the show.
Yeah, it's been great, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, same
here. All right, guys, don't forget to tune in October 2010, right?
That's right.
Nationally.
October 2010 on PBS stations across the country, is that right?
Yeah, and check your local listings to see who picked up the show so far.
Check local listings, and also Find Woodworking will be doing a companion article with one of the projects on the show, to be determined. Tommy and I are still working that out.
Working it out.
All right, thanks everyone.
All right, see you. Thanks, Asa.